Hello everybody, my name is Jay. I'm one of the expert teachers here at e2language.com. If you haven't signed up to e2language.com, I suggest you do so because you can do so for free. And if you want to upgrade, you can get lots and lots of stuff that's going to help you to pass the PTE as soon as possible. Okay, what we're going to do in this live class is an extended methods lesson where we're going to look at PTE reading multiple choice choose single answer, which is quite tricky unless you have a good method. I'm going to teach you that method today. First of all, let me describe this task to you. It's the first task of the PTE reading section. It looks like this. Okay, first of all, you're going to see a timer that's going to tick down to 0, and you need to manage your own time in this section of the test. It'll also tell you how many questions you have left. So you can do some division to find out how long you should spend on each task. I'm also going to tell you that answer today as well. There's an instruction that says that only one response is correct. And you can see from these little circular radio buttons that this is multiple choice choose single answer, not multiple choice choose multiple answers, which has square answer options, okay? Critically, there's a question prompt. We're going to be talking about this in this extended methods lesson. And of course, you have a text which you need to read deeply. Okay, there are different question prompts that you'll see on test day for each of the texts. For example, it might say something like, what is the opinion of the author about X? Maybe it will say something like, the overall purpose of the passage is to what? What's the main idea? Which of the following can be inferred, an inference from the text? According to the text, how does X differ from Y? Why was X so surprising, which is reading for detail? Or which of the following statements is correct with reference to? Okay, let's have a think about these question prompts here. Let's have a look at the key words. So this one you're reading for an opinion. This one you're reading for a purpose. This one you're reading for a main idea. This one you're reading for an inference. This one you're reading for a difference. This one you're reading for a detail. And this one you're reading for one that's correct while all the rest are wrong. Okay, these question prompts are absolutely critical. You have to understand what you're reading for, and the question prompt will tell you what to read for. The question prompt is your friend. It's telling you, okay, read for the author's opinion, right? It's going to tell you to read for something. Make sure you read the question prompt very carefully indeed. If you miss that, you're not going to find the answer. Okay, let's just do one. I'm not going to give you a method yet. I'm going to put you under 90 seconds of pressure. See how you go. I'm going to teach you the method after 90 seconds. All right. Now, if you're like me or anybody else, you probably found that very overwhelming. There's a lot of information there. And how do you step through this question type to make it easy on your brain so you very clearly understand what you're reading for, and most importantly, what the answer is. Let me just show you the answer here. The answer is in fact B. The main point of the text is that although laziness is an issue, it has been evolutionarily helpful. That comes particularly from the third paragraph here, where it really quite says that. It's not A. Public policy should take into consideration evolutionary biology is not the main point of the text. It mentions something about public policy, but that is not the main point. C, worryingly, we are becoming less and less active. It says that, but that is not the main point of the text. D, physical inactivity is an evolutionary adaptation that we cannot alter. Well, it mentions these words, but it doesn't say that, and it's certainly not the main point of the text. All right, let's take a close look at a step-by-step method that's going to make it way easier on your brain to decode all of this information, to understand what you're reading, and most importantly, to find the correct answer. First thing you need to do on test A is read the question prompt. Read it carefully, make sure you understand what you're going to read for. Then deep read the text and try to answer that question yourself. For example, if it says, what is the opinion of the author? Deep read the text and find out for yourself what the opinion of the author is. After you have come up with the answer yourself, you will then match your answer to the closest answer option. For example, if it says, what is the opinion of the author? You read the text, you find out that the author doesn't like avocados, and then you read the answer options until you find the one that says something similar about not liking avocados, right? What's the method again? Step 1, read the question prompt. Step 2, read the text. Step 3, match your answer to the closest answer option. Let's put it into practice now. What I want you to do again is to read the question, deep read the text, and then match your answer to the closest answer option. You'll have 90 seconds. Let's do it. Okay, that's 90 seconds up. If you read this carefully, you'd be reading very carefully for the opinion of the author. What does the author think about Betty? A, he admires Betty. B, he believes Betty is smart or smarter than most 8-year-old children. C, he is surprised that Betty could create and use a novel tool. Or D, he thinks Betty portrays typical crow-like behavior. Let's just forget all of these. If you read this from top to bottom very carefully and deeply, because you have enough time, you would have come up with the answer, which is A. He admires Betty's creative intelligence. B, C, and D are not his opinion. Or they contradict his opinion, or they're just not mentioned. One of those three. Let's do another one. Let's apply the method again. I want you to read the question, deep read the text, match your answer to the closest answer option. Okie dokie. So, what is the author's tone? Let's not confuse ourselves with the answer options yet. We're going to go from here to the text. After we've read this and understood it fully, we're then going to go back and we're going to select the correct answer, which is C. The author's tone is of concern. Okay? The author sounds or seems concerned. Cool. Let's do another one. Read the question, deep read the text, match your answer to the closest answer options. You'll have 90 seconds. Away you go. Okay, so what would be an example of echolalia? So you're going to read this, you're going to read the question prompt and you're going to think, uh-oh, I have no idea what echolalia means. That's okay, because the meaning will be in the text, right? So therefore, again, you're going to have to read that text carefully and deeply. Remember, the text will be 110 words maximum, so it's pretty short. So you have enough time in 90 seconds. It might take you about 45 seconds to deep read that text, and that's important. You need to do that. Okay, so what's an example of echolalia? An example of echolalia would be mimicking someone else's speech. There you go. And it says it quite clearly here. It says the automatic imitation of another's words. In other words, mimicking someone else's speech. These two say the same thing, but in different words. So D is the answer. This one is wrong. It's not about blinking. This one is wrong. It's not about sharing. This one is wrong. It's not about yawning. And this one is wrong. It's not about social inhibition. It was about speech or the imitation of another's words. All right, let's do another one. This one's going to be tough. We're going to follow the same procedure, the same method of reading the question, deep reading the text, and matching our answer to the closest answer option. But if you look carefully at that question prompt, it says, what can be inferred about the crew of the Hunley? So we're reading for an inference. What does that mean exactly? Well, if you think about the other question prompt and it said, what is the opinion of the author? The opinion will be quite clear. It's still slightly inferential. It's still a slight inference because the author might say something like, I'm very worried about this. And so the answer is concerned, but it's quite a clear one-to-one relationship between the meaning in the text and the meaning of the answer option, worry and concern. It might use a synonym. With an inference, what you're doing is you're trying to interpret the meaning. It won't be explicitly said. You're going to have to draw a conclusion from the evidence or the information that you read. Okay? It's kind of hard to explain. It's probably best explained by deduction. So let's just do it first, and then I'll explain what the answer is. You have 90 seconds. Okay, inferences. These are really tricky questions. Let's go through. The key to this one will be to eliminate incorrect answer options and then find one that could be the answer that's not mentioned in the text explicitly, but it seems like a logical conclusion or something that you would think would be true from the text. That's the inference. So let's go through the answers here. So the crew of the Hunley, they were rescued by lifeboats. No, the crew of the Housatonic were rescued by lifeboats. So let's eliminate A, because that one's contradictory. The crew of the Hunley, they were caught in 1995. No, there was a mystery that was solved in 1995. This happened in 1864. So that's definitely wrong because they wouldn't be 140 years old or older. C, the crew of the Hunley became war heroes. Well, it doesn't say that. And there's no reason to believe that that would be the answer, okay? That's probably not a good interpretation or inference from all of this information. There's nothing that's leading to that, but let's just leave it because it's not contradictory. D, the crew of the Hunley perished at sea. So the Hunley's first and last submarine combat mission. Okay, the fate of the crew. Okay, this is pretty good. This sort of language is leading me to believe that perhaps the crew of the Hunley perished or died at sea. So that's a pretty good one. What about E? They escaped in lifeboats. Again, the Housatonic crew escaped in lifeboats. So it's not E either. So we're left with C and D, and I believe that the best one is D, and the answer is D. They perished at sea is the best inference here. Let's do one final one here. We're going to follow the method, 3 steps. Remember this on test day. Read the question carefully. Deep read the text. Find the answer to the question yourself. So why could people see more clearly than usual? What's the answer? And then 3, match your answer to the closest answer option. All right. It's a pretty straightforward question prompt here, and it's asking you to find a detail. Why could people see more clearly than usual? Okay, so if you read that text, you're going to see something right in that bottom paragraph that says, but that process, the ability to see details and edges of objects, is normally gradual. When the total eclipse took viewers from brightness to darkness in minutes, the GABA receptor would have still been present on those cells in their eyes. So what's the opposite of gradual? Have a look at A. The sun disappeared suddenly. That's the best answer here. In fact, it's the only answer. That is the reason why people could see more clearly than usual. The sun disappeared suddenly. Cool bananas. Guys, if you need help with your PTE, check out e2language.com. You can sign up for free. You can see the link in the description below. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button. We're going to start delivering one of these extended methods lessons each week for the next 20 weeks. By the way, what's an extended methods lesson? Well, it goes into detail about the different tasks of the PTE, including all the linguistic language skills that you need in order to solve the tasks accurately. There are, by the way, if you're in a rush, express methods lessons on the e2language.com website. If you don't have time, if you're in a rush, if your English is already really good, check out those express methods lessons instead because they'll be very helpful for you. Cool, that's all. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel, check out the website, and keep practicing. Good luck with your exam.